Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Black and Gold Today digital exclusive. I'm Jay Puskar, along with Mike Fenner, Kent Urbanski, and Mike Gallagher. And gentlemen, we're going to be following the Pittsburgh Steelers all throughout 2019. All four of us have had a chance to go down to training camp, a few preseason games. Kent, I'm going to start with you. What did you take away the most through the month of August?
Well, no drama. You know? you showed up at camp, and it was a pleasure to be there. You know, there was no drama. Everyone was excited to be there. I'm talking about players and media alike.
Yeah, they were actually looking forward to registering day one and kind of really getting to work. And Mike, you were there a couple days later.
Yeah, Kent hit on it. Tunch Ilkin, we had a chance to speak with him. He brought that up. And you got that feeling, and I say this over and over, from Ben. Mm-hmm. Ben really seemed to be in a position or in a mood where he wants to be there, he wants to play, he's excited about the guys he has around him, and it showed. Now the key is, does it show week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right on down the line? Because we're hoping it does, and we'll know week 16 when we do this. If Kent starts out by saying no drama, it will have been a success.
Well, it was great because the players didn't have to answer questions day one about Le'Veon. They didn't have to answer questions about AB, and you know, and I think for them that was sort of refreshing.
Well, I think for everybody. Now I'm jumping in on everybody because I remember one of our first production meetings, and I brought up the AB and the Le'Veon situation. He yells across the table, "They're not here. We're not talking about them. Let's let them move on." But how do you not talk about them with the off season that Antonio Brown has had?
Right. Well, Lev's been kind of quiet, but you know, Antonio just he's his own worst nightmare. You know, and now he's not our problem anymore.
I know, right? I know, and I actually don't get it, but the Raiders are dealing with it, and hopefully it translates to poor performances on the field.
Mike, I'm going to bring you in now. You had a chance to be down at the Friday night practice. The fans were there down at Latrobe, having a chance to get their first glimpses of this team. What did you take away from that night?
Honestly, I thought it was a team with a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. It's a team that I think is going to dominate up front on both lines of scrimmage, offense and defense, and I think that's going to be the trademark of this team. Everyone wants to talk about the absence of Antonio Brown at Le'Veon Bell, but I think their offensive line is probably the best in the league. Defensive line, linebackers, it's a strength of this team. And again, without the distractions, I think these guys are fired up to go prove to people we're the class of the AFC North. Stop talking about the Cleveland Browns.
Thank you. I was thinking that.
And you know, with less drama, this team can go really far. I was impressed with those guys. I think you're going to see that all season long. That's what they're going to be known for. That's what they're going to kind of carry the water with.
And guys, let's look ahead now to week number 1 against the New England Patriots. What a great matchup. The NFL did a nice job setting up the two best franchises in the Super Bowl era, getting this game in Sunday night prime time. Mike, your thoughts on just getting this matchup and, again, seeing some of the best quarterback play that we possibly will see all year with Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady?
Well, and what was great, and call it class, call it whatever, and I heard an interview, I believe, Mike, that maybe it was even you did with Ben, where he pointed out what it's like to play against a guy like Brady. Mm-hmm. You know, calling him the greatest ever. And
almost a little too much admiration.
Did you think that?
Yeah,
did you really think that? Seeing
yeah,
that
because I witnessed them last year on the field asking for an autograph.
I thought that, but I said I'm not going to say it. You know, because I think of it. I think of like the NBA guys.
Yeah.
You know, I think of the Chris Pauls, and you know, they could be your best friend all summer, but on the court they hate you.
Yes.
So
I want him to have the attitude. I'm going out there. I want to kill that guy. I'm tired of shaking his hand after a loss.
I'm done with him. Let him. It's time for him to move on.
Right. You know, he's 42, and what he keeps doing is amazing. You know, he's a good sign for us older guys. You know,
absolutely.
You know, so.
This ship has sailed.
But you know, everybody wants to talk about who's the number one for the Steelers. What's it going to take for them to go out there and win? And to me, the answer it's Tomlin. You know, from the sidelines, I mean, how many times do you want to walk across that field and shake Belichick's hand after losing the chess match? It's on Tomlin to go out there, devise a game plan, take some risk right from the start, and take it to them in their own house.
And guys, we've seen it with his body language all through camp, all through preseason, even this past week with the press conference that he had leading up to this game. There's a different energy with Coach Tomlin that he's excited about this. He doesn't have to deal with the drama. The only drama that they hope they have is playoff drama come December and possibly January. So there's a different vibe already at the top of the coaching staff, which is key. Mike, for you, as far as the matchups, what stands out for you for the Steelers and what they have to do? A great 53-man roster, but what do they need to do to get it done at Gillette Stadium?
I think it's going to come down to how much pressure they can get on Tom Brady. They're talking about it all week. Cameron Hayward, Devin Bush, I think is excited to show what he can do as a first-round rookie. The Pittsburgh Steelers do not trade up in the first round often. They did it this offseason. They did it in April. And when you make that kind of a move, obviously you've got really good faith in a guy like Devin Bush. We talked to him this week. You heard from him, and he's a guy that's really excited to try to get after Ben. I mean, these guys, it's going to be the pass rush. I think that's going to be the biggest key.
So do you think Belichick looks at that and said, let's go after this guy? You know, he's not been on a NFL field. Are they going to target him right after, or are they going to, or you know, without Sean Davis being in the safety position, if he's out all week, he's hurt, are they going to go after Cam Kelly?
Here's what I think the question of the week is: the Gronk factor.
I agree.
Is it a difference? Is it a noticeable difference?
I think so, but when you have a guy like Julian Edelman that, you know, is just that slot guy, the go-to guy that always seems to get open, who's going to cover him? You know, who are they going to put on him to, you know, maybe the Patriots try to run the ball more to loosen that up to get Edelman more passes downfield, and can the Steelers defensive backs and safeties cover and keep him from burning us deep?
Kent, can they get it done?
I think so. I think the Steelers go out there and win this game. I really
agree.
do, and I think it's time now. I think
not us.
And
Him and I agree. Let's hear what these two say.
When you look on paper at the Patriots, they are the oldest team. Even take Brady out of the picture, they're still the oldest team in the league. And the Steelers, I think, can come out there with some young guys and out finesse them and beat them.
And I don't think the Steelers get overwhelmed by New England.
I don't think so either.
Not anymore. You know, I think they've seen them enough. But what's interesting is this series tied 16-16. You know what I mean?
Pretty amazing.
So it is. You know.
Yeah.
So.
But we picked the Steelers.
Right.
So the big question is where the two sports guys go.
Why did you pick New England?
Because he's never lost to Pittsburgh at home. I'm a guy with history. Like, if we haven't seen it happen before, I want to see it first before I believe it. But I mean, it's a very vulnerable New England team. David Andrews goes down. This offensive line has a lot of shifting around to do. They're going to be challenged. New center, that's huge. I mean, that's a guy, no one's played more football with Tom Brady than David Andrews, and he's not going to be there. So that's got to be a level of discomfort for them on the offensive line. There's plenty of reasons to think this could go Pittsburgh's way. Another thing I think is underrated, this is the season opener. They usually play this game week 15, 16, 17. There's usually pressure and playoff implications. That's not the case.
And or injuries that have cropped up that we weren't aware of.
It might be a low-scoring affair in the first half, just until these teams fill each other up and not know what's going. You know, not what each other is going to do. And I want to see. I want to see Tomlin go out there and make it 3 in a row. I do say 3 in a row because Jesse James got that one.
He did. He did.
But before we go, though, and I got to ask this of all three of you, could you imagine having to produce this show every week if Bill Belichick were the head coach? You had to produce it around.
We'd have to put subtitles up.
We would. We'd
What
have
he
to
was
bring
thinking?
some life into
Because I
everything.
listened to Tomlin's news conference. At least he's giving you something.
Right.
You know, whether you like what he's saying or not,
Well,
he's
that's the
giving.
Belichick way.
You know, I'm just talking out of school. I'm talking TV.
If you really want to hear what Belichick has to say, read the book.
No, I'm just thinking. You got a 7-minute segment to do with your Bill Belichick news conference. You got 3 words. Turn that into 7 minutes. Good
Well,
luck
we
with
even
that.
discussed it producing the show. Hey, if there's any New England sound or anything from Coach Belichick, and I looked at Ken, I'm like, we're not going to get much out of Belichick. It is cut and dry, straight to the point, and very dry.
Yeah, you could actually take the same soundbite for the past 15 years, and it would be the same.
Guys, finally, as we wrap things up for our first digital exclusive content for the Black and Gold today, the overall outlook, the big picture, what do you want to see out of the Steelers this year, Mike?
Super Bowl, Miami. I want to be in Miami.
I think we all do.
I want to be in Miami.
I think that would be a nice little vacation
And
for all of us.
I want to see Ben Roethlisberger prove that he is what he is without Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
Mike,
I want to see what James Conner can do without the talk and the worry of Le'Veon Bell coming back. Is he or is he not? This is his backfield now. I want to see what he can do with a full season. He had the full season last year, but the full season without having to worry about that.
And to piggyback that off is Juju Smith.
Yeah,
Can he
I
be
was
the
just gonna
guy?
say
Can
that.
he be the weapon? Can he be that number one guy? Because Switzer's going to be a great slot receiver, kind of like that Julian Edelman, but will Juju be able to step up and be that #1 guy? Because it's a different thing when you've got double coverage and everything. I want to see that throughout the season. I think he is very capable of doing it.
I agree.
Everybody loves Juju. Let's have a reason to.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so
Been
much.
fun.
Everybody, go out there and enjoy a lot of football this weekend. And that does it for our digital show, and we'll have much more throughout the course of the 2019 season.